Season 3 of Chefs and Deliciousness starts right now. Woo!
Woo! I like that, Ron. I'm here today for another edition of Trey's Chapman Live. I'm here with Brian from 407 Barbecue. Brian.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, buddy. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, sir.
We've been on TV a couple times together.
Yeah, we have.
As a matter of fact, we got a video that they put together to play later on, and it shows you on doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a neat deal. So, everybody, thanks for watching. We got a couple of things here locally and some national news, and then after I get through with that, we're gonna get with Brian and start talking a little bit of barbecue. Meaty deliciousness is what I call it. So tomorrow at the Ginger Man in Las Colinas, I'm judging a chili cook-off. It's the second time we've had it. It's a big cook-off. It's in a beautiful location, Las Colinas, on the river. I call it a river, a little lake. It's a kind of a fake type deal, a man-made deal, but it's a really pretty area. Be a lot of good chili over there. Berry Street Ice House in Fort Worth is having a special Independence Day deal where they have a bunch of specials. So if you're in the Fort Worth area, Berry Street Ice House, go check them out. It's really cool. That's Chef Stefan's deal. And then Chimichurri in Dallas. If you have not been to this place, this is Jesus' place. He's a restaurateur. Chimichurri has got everything in the world that they put fresh chimichurri on everything. Steaks. They have empanadas. I mean, it's delicious. It's in the old Roadhouse building. I had a hard time. When I left, they serve you these chimichurri in individual glass jars.
Right.
I had already eaten 2 of the jars, and I asked for 2 more to go home. Yeah.
You ever take it with pork rinds?
Yeah, yeah.
Dip it?
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah.
That stuff's just so good. If it's made fresh. You know, some people, and Blaine, I learned this from Blaine down at Grace. He told me that he does all his by hand because if you bruise the vegetables in machines, it doesn't taste as good. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's I'm sure it's true. It's just some people don't. If you're going to serve it in mass quantities, you're going to have to use some kind of machine. Yeah. So, and then our best barbecue list comes out next month. Best barbecue in North Texas, and I'm also adding a little bit of Austin, a little bit of Houston on there. And I'm real excited about that to get that list out. It's going to be for the 2020 list. And I was going to bring it out before December, but everything that happened, and then, of course, the snow, all the weather last week, it's just been Lord. So I've been trying to get everything back on track. You like your coffee cup?
I love my coffee cup.
You know, I collect these things, and I get great ones. That pig is I've got a bunch of them. That pig is funny.
I was just sitting here wondering if you'd recognize it if it was missing after I left.
Yeah. All right, and then tomorrow also, too, we got a new place called Buttercup opening in Plano, and this is a new chicken concept. All kinds of creative chicken flavors, but everything's in a waffle cone. So you get it, and everything you get's in a waffle cone. It's chicken and corn, whatever. You just eat it. You eat it like that. I'm going to the Great Enough. We're going to see what it's going to be like. Oh, yeah, chicken. Yeah, the face mask is good. That's awesome. So the COVID, I just want to talk just real quick about COVID. I hate being negative. Y'all know I'm a positive guy, but just kind of want to give some statistics here. Do you know, out of all the research I did in the last couple of months, do you know what the person was, national chain that was up the most was Wingstop? But I guess that stands there because they were delivering a lot.
Yep.
They were up 20%, which is not as much as you, but they were up. Yeah. And then decreases were as much as 69 to 70%. Yeah, and of course you know that. And they've lost, in 2020, there was $240 billion in restaurant sales lost and 110 restaurants closed. Can you believe that? 2.5 million jobs lost nationwide. Isn't that just unbelievable? Mm-hmm. All right, now we'll get down to Brian. Brian, where are you from?
South Lake, Texas.
Okay, all the times we've been together, I never ask you where you're from. Yeah.
Well, I grew up in Garland, but I tell everybody I'm from South Lake. It makes it sound so much better.
Hey, they're all growing. Garland's growing.
Oh, it is.
Golly.
Yeah.
So you actually you went to school and everything there. That's where you
in Garland.
Okay,
yeah. In Garland. Yeah.
So are your parents still? Are they still alive? Are they still here?
My dad has passed.
Okay.
My mom is in a full care facility.
Okay. So but she's still here. So she's still around. Okay. Cool. All right. So when did you start getting in the barbecue business? Or when did you start thinking about it? What was the first time you started thinking about it?
Getting into barbecue or the business?
Let's see, barbecue. When was the first time you started thinking about barbecue?
1974.
1974. So you started at home then?
I was 10 years old. My dad got me in the barbecue business.
Did he really?
Yeah, he sure did. We used to always have big get-togethers at the holidays. All my aunts, uncles, and cousins would come over, and it would be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday type thing. I'm on Memorial Day, Labor Day type stuff. My dad would always cook. Then they'd go in there and they were playing dominoes and poker all weekend long, but he'd always have to get up and go check the pit.
Right.
So he got to thinking if he got me running that pit, he could stay inside.
Oh.
So I'm out there on the hot Labor days watching the pit, but yeah, I got it when I was 10 years old.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
I mean, see, I tell everybody nothing goes better than with food than a story. And that's a great story. You should publicize that. I mean, that's just something that's really cool.
Yeah, it really was. And back then, of course, we just had 55-gallon drums. We don't stand them up like they do now. We cut them in half, and you could cook offset or you could do direct grilling. So he showed me from a young age.
I was just fixing to ask you that. So there wasn't a pit. It was the drums.
It was a drum.
And those are still around now.
Oh yeah.
Only they paint them. They're a lot fancier.
They're kind of retro stuff, old school now.
Yeah. So how did he teach you? How did he get you? He just said, "Come here and let's do it," or did you ask him?
No. He showed me. I was interested. Obviously, you got to be out there hanging out with him. But he got to showing me, what to look for and when to add wood and checking it and everything else. Don't be lifting the lid. Just go out there when I tell you to and do that.
If you lift that lid, the heat would go away.
Yeah, sure would. Yeah, and so obviously we had some rough meat. The first couple of times when I wanted to do it on my own, they were real nice with me and let it go. But it started off with that. It ended up being burgers. Then we started doing steaks and everything else, and I just grew in love with it.
What's funny is that I tell everybody you can read all the barbecue books you want. You can watch it on TV. You can watch it on YouTube. But until you do it. Yeah. And do it time and time again. You're not going to.
You got to ruin some meat.
You got exactly. Yeah, you got to learn. You got to learn by trial and error.
Yep.
And everybody has their. I get asked all the time, "Do you think Franklin's the best barbecue?" And I tell everybody, he's got great barbecue, but there's just there's way too many other barbecue places that are just as good or better.
Sure.
And I eat barbecue all year long, and I'm amazed at how much great barbecue there is. Good gosh.
Well, we're really lucky right now. Yeah. We're kind of in an era.
Yeah,
especially here in North Texas, we got a lot of good restaurants.
Yeah. So when you were doing that, so you were a kid. So did he ever? When did you ever make transition to where you were cooking the whole thing?
Oh, it was probably about the time I got into high school. I mean, he would always keep it, but I'm talking when I got 15, 16 years old. Yeah, we would do it. He'd let me do the turkey for Thanksgiving, go out there and cook that. We'd always have a brisket. Always have a brisket.
What was the hardest thing for you to learn to cook? What was the thing that you had that was most challenging for you to learn to cook when you started?
It was probably the brisket. And back then, of course, everybody, does butcher paper now.
Yeah.
We used to use brown paper bags.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it looks like this, don't put it in too early. But when it starts looking like this, just fold it in a brown paper bag and stick it in there. And I'm like, well, I can't see it. No, trust me, you'll know. And then you got to tell him, look, you can actually push through this thing because it's going to be wet and nasty. You can push through it and find out. We didn't have thermopins back then and everything else. It was pretty much everything was a field test.
I think butcher paper came about because it just looks butcher paper. And believe it or not, to me, when it gets all greasy, it looks sexy.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks delicious. The paper itself, when it gets soaked and you have all that grease and
and it serves a good purpose.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, it serves to me a better purpose than what foil does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because does it breathe a little bit? Yeah, that's the thing. And foil won't breathe.
No, you're basically just building up that pressure, and you're going to end up braising your meat right inside there.
Yeah,
it's like Jiffy Pop popcorn. Here it goes.
That stuff used to be popular.
I'm old, baby.
So, what was your favorite thing to cook? When you were younger,
Steaks. Yeah. We would just pull white trash and. I'm pretty sure getting older than I am now, we were probably getting some government assistance. We ate steak a lot. And we were poor. And I'm thinking now, wait a minute, we probably had those little stamps, you get, so I'm sympathetic to people who have to have them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had steak quite a bit. And I love cooking steaks. Steaks are great. I'd love to start cooking steaks at the restaurant.
Yeah, you're not doing that yet, are you?
No.
Yeah.
No, I can't even keep up with what I've got.
No, you can't.
Now,
no. So. And you built that big old restaurant, and you just kind of just keep.
I fixed that another 1,000 square feet. I was going to tell you that. That's to the kitchen.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So when you left high school, were you still cooking when you left high school? Or did you go mess around? Or have you been cooking barbecue the whole time?
No, I've been cooking barbecue the whole time.
Okay.
And even when I left high school. When I lived with my some buddies, we got out of high school. We had an apartment together. Full-time jobs, but we always had the little what's the little 3-tiered section? The little pan in the bottom.
Oh yeah.
I had one of those. Yeah. I had the original electric one. It was a 3-tiered. It was electric. You could put it on there with the little lava rocks.
Oh yeah.
I did all that, and I still cooked. I cooked for years, and I still had my dad and folks over for holidays and everything else, and I would do the cooking.
At what point did your dad ever do that? Because my dad was really, he was hard on me. But did he ever tell you, hey, this is really good, son?
Yeah, he did, and he was really proud.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So when did you start the first place in Argyle? Were you cooking before the
Yeah, so
okay.
I've been cooking forever. We got into the catering world part-time about 20 years ago.
Okay.
And I was still full-time, work in the IT world and everything else. So we would cater on the sides.
Well, hang on. Okay, here we go. I didn't know you were IT before that.
I was AT&T for 32 years.
Were you really?
Yeah, I'm old.
I didn't meet you until the trailer out there. So I didn't know you. And that's what I always tell everybody. You don't know a person until you get to sit and talk with them for an hour and put them in a chair because even if the TV stuff we've done, it's all kind of intermittent and you have to do it, be on and be off. So this isn't. So I
did 32 years. I've done pretty much every job you can do, from manholes to 911 systems to IT, and I was an engineer that helped roll out the Uverse network back in 2002 or something like that. And so the catering gig was really picking up by 2013. And for the first, it was 31 years, 6 months, 20 days, and 18 hours. I know exactly.
You know exactly.
Well, they took a ragtag kid out of high school.
Yeah.
And 2 days out of high school, they said, I'm starting. And they gave me, they treated me great. They sent me around the world. They trained me into an engineer, networking, IT, everything else. So I would never say a bad thing.
I think they're a good company.
They treated their employees good. Yeah. For the first 31 years.
Yeah.
And the last 6 months, 20 hours, and 18 days, it actually became a job.
Yeah.
That was the first time. I was always the first one there, last one to leave. I loved everything about the phone company. But then it got to be a job.
Yeah.
And I knew the time was coming. And, of course, like I said, we were using all the vacation time for caterings during the week and everything else. And we did competition. I've been doing competition at that point for probably 10, 11 years.
So people that are watching, this is how people. I don't think most people understand this. Competition barbecue is different than what you serve in the restaurant, and people ask me all the time. They think what they see on TV is what you serve in the restaurant, and that's not how it works. Can you explain a little bit of difference?
There's no way I would ever serve anything at a competition barbecue at a restaurant.
No, it wouldn't.
I'm surprised some of these judges sitting at a table haven't had their heart explode. I really have, because that stuff's full of so much sodium and phosphates and everything else, and candy coated, and it's just it's like the Westminster Dog Show. Okay, this dog is going to win, but he ain't really a pet. Okay,
no.
This guy's a foo-foo. He's not going to be rolling out in the mud like a regular guy. It's the same thing. It's not anything you're going to serve at your restaurant. It's just, let's doll it up the best we can. Let's send it out there, and there you go. It's
so funny. I judge a lot of barbecue contests, and I get called all the time. And I can tell guys the competition. It's just a totally different. It's not even. It's just hard to explain to somebody who has never done both of them.
You do the judging later on that night. You're burping and hurting and everything.
Boy, I'm telling you, boy, burping, hurting, stomach's upset. Got to take antacids.
Never judge the first round of chicken either. I always judge the last round.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Yeah.
So you were into catering. You made that move, and then when did you get that trailer? Your first trailer?
Right after I did. So I got ready. I talked to my financial guy about retiring.
Right.
And unbeknownst to me, for the first time in 12 years, AT&T was fixing to have a buyout. They hadn't had one in 12 years. So the stars were aligning, and I thought, this has got to be, it's a sign,
Right.
So I went in September, and he asked me, can you hang out till the end of the year? He said, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but we're getting all your portfolios ready. They're going to have a good buyout. And I'm like, yeah. So, once we push the button, you can't go back. Right. And that was in November of 2013.
Did you have stock options?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so, I got a great retirement. If I can go out there and do barbecue, I can do hamburgers, I can go fishing. Yeah. Everything's okay.
Yeah, but you enjoy doing barbecue.
Exactly.
I see you out there all gloating, talking around, talking to everybody, slinging that barbecue
well, and
out
that's
there.
The reason right there why I never wanted a restaurant.
Yeah.
Because I like catering. Believe it or not, I got a little bit of a big head. So I like talking. When you're catering, you're kind of you're the focal point.
Right.
So you can talk to everybody.
Right.
And I never thought a restaurant would be that way. And it is.
Yeah.
And it's the coolest thing in the world.
Well, you go out there and talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
A restaurant's only as good as the people that are working it. So.
Well, I've been to barbecue joints, a lot of them, especially a lot of the chain stuff.
Yeah.
You go in there, you run through line, put it on a plate, give me your money, and go sit down.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like it's just a real fun, family place. Yeah. And that's the thing about ours. A lot of them around that are family owned. You can do what you want to, and everybody that comes in there is like family.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of fun.
I bet. Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
So you got the catering trailer. You got that done.
Right after I retired, fire captain down in Gatesville, Texas, and bought it from him, Billy Vaden, and he had it ready. Went down there and got it, and we started. I had another partner at the time, partner Mark, and we catered for a couple of years together until I wore him out. I mean, I do it all day.
Yeah,
I was double booking caterings and everything else. And he's like, I'm out of here.
Hey, I tell everybody that's self-employed, especially in the restaurant business or even the catering business, if you're not passionate about it and you don't want to do it, you shouldn't do it because it's 7 days a week.
Yep.
Nonstop. You can't just not do it.
Yeah.
So
no, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to go all in.
Yeah, or you're not going to build your business.
That's it.
So you had your partner and y'all started there. And
yeah, and of course, he liked to golf too.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And the poor guy's, he still does barbecue. But I mean, I was wearing him out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I knew it. I've been a compulsive workaholic all my life, and so we left ways, and I started doing the catering on my own. And then in 2016, in like May or June, I fed one of the gentlemen, the guy that got me set up in the trailer. Fed him out of catering. And he was instant, I'm going to set you up where I was in Corral City over there by the store. And I'm going to set you up there. We're going to get you electricity. And I was like, no, I'm not interested. I didn't want it. I wanted to cater.
Right.
The first 3 years after I retired, I could cater when I want. I could go fishing when I want.
Right.
Now, I haven't been
You can
fishing in
set
a
your own
year.
schedule. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So anyway, he went on every day for almost 6 weeks.
Harassing you.
He just texted me, "Come on, Daddy, we got to make this happen. Let's do this. Let's do that." And he wanted no part of the game. He wanted absolutely nothing, and he just wanted to see me up there.
Right.
And so we finally decided we'd go ahead and do it. We opened up on October the 6th in 2016. We opened up that thing, and there was a long line, and we've had them ever since.
Yeah.
Been drinking from a fire hose for 4 years. I thought I'd never grow again when we went in this building. And like I said, we just got through talking to the county. We got approved to add another 1,000 square feet to the
That's awesome.
to the kitchen.
What was your most favorite thing? If anybody was to ask you today, what was your most favorite thing about catering? What would it have been? I know I've heard you talk about your schedule, being able to set your own schedule, but was there anything else?
The cool thing is when you're up there, like I said, you're kind of the centerpiece.
Yeah.
If you have a good food, if you're passionate about it, you love it, you're going to put out a good product. You don't have to brag about it, but it's good.
Right.
And you see the people that come up there, they want seconds, they want thirds. It's the best barbecue I've ever had. I'm like, well, I know, because the groom paid for it. Okay, but I understand. But when you're booking caterings from people who were at the catering, then and that's the
awesome.
fun. Yeah, you see the joy and the delight.
Sure. You know what's funny? Nothing brings people out more than free food and drink.
I know it.
No, they come out of the woodwork, don't
Best
they?
time I ever had.
Yeah, that's right. And it's normally not just one trip either.
I know it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we did that. I love seeing it. I love seeing people now that come in from out of town.
Yeah.
And I've heard about this Texas barbecue. I'm going to try it. They're like, wow. I'm shipping pulled pork over to Memphis right now to a customer.
Wow.
Now, you shipping pulled pork back into Tennessee, you're doing something.
You're doing something right. Yeah. That's why I got you the pig cut.
Exactly. My pig.
So when you left, I remember you telling me you were going to do that, you were going to do your project, and I didn't realize it was going to be that big until the first time I went there. I remember you giving me the tour. It's big. I mean, that's a big restaurant.
It is.
For speaking terms. But isn't there more room in the kitchen than there is in the dining room, or are they the same size?
The same size. Well,
okay.
Same size, and incorporate the bathrooms. There's more in the kitchen than there is the dining room.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess maybe because there's more open space, the kitchen looked a little bigger, but I guess it's going to be bigger now.
Well, and the funny thing, you were talking about the contractor that came out that actually put everything together for us. When we built that kitchen so you can see right through the kitchen. I want everybody to see your food's being prepared. There's nothing behind the curtain.
Yep.
There's our hands. There's no magic here. You're looking at your food. We're proud of it, keeping it clean.
Right.
It helps my employees be focused, looking forward.
Sure.
It also helps them keep everything clean. So it gives the customer peace of mind that I'm not just walking out of a swinging door with their food and where did it come from. When we open that thing up, you can literally see all the way through the kitchen. You can't see past the cutting line. We've got so many heating cabinets and everything else in there. There's so much equipment in there now.
Yeah, the last time I was there, you're right. Yeah, I could see the cutting line, but that's still good though, because the open kitchen concept is one of my favorites. And if you go to anything on my website, it'll tell you. That's a plug from a website. If you go to anything on my website, it'll tell you I'm a big open concept and street dining guy. even before COVID, I was a big street dining guy. I think that there's a lot of restaurants now that the whole walls open up and it brings the outside in and inside out. I love that, like your big patio you have out there. You had before COVID. I just love outside dining and love open concepts, and so your restaurant's perfect for that.
Yeah, and we do that. And like I said, we're not a buffet where you walk down the line and give me the green beans, give me the corn. You're placing your orders, and but you're seeing all the food right there, prepared. We've got 2 cutting lines now, and you can see both lines. Oh, you have 2
now.
Yeah, we have to have 2. Yeah. And we've got the good thing about our point of sale is I can direct all the traffic that comes in from walk-in traffic or dine-in traffic, walk-in takeout, it can go to the front line. All the phone orders or online orders, I can send them to the back line.
So it keeps you organized.
It keeps it organized, so it keeps it flowing. That was part of that engineering brain that AT&T gave me.
But you know what, though? Everything you do in life, if you're going to tell everybody you're going to open a restaurant, whatever you think you'll never know enough. Right. And everything that you built up to that point, the one thing about what you did is that you understood IT. And a lot of guys that have restaurants never did that, so they understand that. So that's a big plus for you.
It's working out the air bubbles, keeping things moving.
Yeah.
I was absent on restaurant management day at school. I skipped school, and so I'm getting daily lessons every single day. But we're figuring it out a little bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you got into the new building, and I remember you had the patio out there, didn't you? Didn't remember when you moved in, but the patio wasn't there. But
we didn't have anything when we moved. We put that awning up. Put the awning back up. That was the only thing we had.
Yeah.
We've added on the pergolas, the awnings all the way down. Now, one thing we're fixing to do also is we've actually kind of closed in the side and the front with wooden slats. Okay. It's got a little bit enough to let light in, but it's more of a privacy type thing. Okay. We're going to have some music out there, and then we're going to double extend it also, a brand new pergola, the full length of the building. So it'll give me full coverage, top and bottom level outside.
And what's your favorite thing about the restaurant out there? Is it the location? Because you're out there by yourself right now, so there's nothing else around you, right?
I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot. You can go go south a few miles on 35. You can go north a few miles up in Denton, and you can go east, over into Bartonville, Lantana area, and there's restaurants. But I mean,
that ain't 407.
It ain't 407, baby.
I love about your restaurants, you have a big entrance and a big exit. And there's 2 signs, enter only and exit only. And every time I go up there, I see people going out the in and in the out. Every time I'm like, how big is the sign got to be?
I don't know. It happens every day. Every day. And I'm thinking, maybe I should get those. Remember when you used to try to sneak in the drive-in, but they had those spikes?
Oh, yeah,
you go the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't know how to keep it. We locally, knock on wood, we haven't had any vehicle accidents out on the road yet.
I was going to say there hadn't been any tiger accidents out there, have there?
No, there haven't been. But and it's funny is sometimes you'll be trying to go out the proper exit, and somebody will be coming in.
Yeah, they're
going to come in that way, and there's a culvert right there, and they're literally going to come right in. So we have to back up, and it's and I'm the only business on 377. Or 407 or 377. I'm the only business that doesn't have a turn lane.
The only one?
The only one. You know how many people I bring to this area every day?
Yeah.
I'm the only business that does not have one. It ends at my driveway. And TxDOT was out there doing some restriping, had their equipment in my parking lot. I'm like, while you're here.
Did you talk to them?
Oh, yeah. I've talked to them several times.
What did they say?
No. I mean, we're going to have somebody call you. We're going to get back. I've even had the county judge.
Those guys are on those road crews there, but they're just doing their job. They get
eventually they're going to be widening 407. The problem will take care of itself, but it would really be nice. I'm a little bit leery because I have a lot of Robeson Ranch customers, and they're elderly and they may not have the fastest cars or jump out there in the highway as quick as that. So I've been real leery every day. And like I said, we've been real fortunate.
I hate to say this, but this is a fact of life. Most intersections get fixed or corrected if there's a major accident. That's just, I'm going to tell you, someone's going to get killed or, I hate to say that. I don't like saying that, but
that's the truth.
That's just the way the world,
And like you said, it's a shame that it comes down to that.
Just look at Boeing. That plane didn't get fixed until they had two crashes and 600 people die. I mean, it's just the way it is. So Brian, we've done a lot of stuff together, and about a year and a half ago, I had the best barbecue list for ABC. They commissioned me to do, and we did a show. It was a great show, by the way, and you were good at that show. So Ron, can we roll that footage, please, sir?
All right, thank you for joining us on I Am Still Up. It is Friday, so we're here in our South Victory Plaza. Could you guess what we're talking about today? North Texans go crazy over their barbecue, so we had to bring in the expert here, Mr. Trey Chapman of Trey'sChowdown.com. First of all, thank you, and really tell the people while you're here right now.
Thank you very much, and we love barbecue.
Yes.
And beef ribs.
Well, Okay, well, we've been asking you on the show, beef ribs or pork ribs. We'll let you make up your mind at the end. I say beef ribs, you say beef ribs. But, I mean, you went out and tried, how many barbecue restaurants to come up with the list on your website today, top 25 barbecue spots in North Texas?
119 places, 280 dishes.
119 places all around North Texas. This guy's insane here. Well, he's highlighted a few of them, so you don't have to go to all of those spots here. We've got the top, we've got the top 25 list on TraceChowdown.com right now, but we're featuring
407 barbecue in Argyle right here. And I was actually trying these jalapeno poppers earlier. Woo! They woke me right up. Tell me about what you brought today.
So we've got our brisket Twinkies that we brought. This is our same stuffing we use for our brisket enchiladas, and it's got kind of a creamy filling in it. Put them in there, bacon wrap them on the jalapenos.
So brisket Twinkies, jalapeno poppers, I was way off.
Well, it's the same thing. It's kind of thing. It's got with the cream filling. It's about the size of a Twinkie.
I like that name better though.
Everybody calls them Twinkies.
So tell me about 407. Where's that name? Is that what road you are on?
Yeah, we're not that smart to come up with a good name. So we're happy in 407 in Argyle. So
Hey, as long as you're smart enough to make good barbecue, that's all that matters. What else do you have?
So we've got our brisket here. This is a prime Black Angus brisket that we serve at our restaurant. We've got our St. Louis spare ribs.
Now I need to ask you, you have Trey going around trying all these different barbecue joints. What was it like to be named, one of the top 25? That's huge.
Well, apparently you hadn't come out yet, so have we been? Thank you so much.
I don't think you'd be here. I don't think you'd be here if you were at the bottom of the list. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you about that.
It's a pretty good honor. It's a really nice honor, and we're very humbled and accepted of it.
And if you didn't, I just made that decision for you. Okay. No, but what is it that makes your barbecue so special?
Well, I think it's the same thing that most barbecue places have. It's the love, it's the passion of true barbecue. We try to provide the best meats, quality meats, put our passion and our love into it, and serve a good product.
Yeah, that was a fun time, wasn't it?
That was a good day.
That was a good day.
That was a very fun day.
I always, and if you've watched any of my live productions with ABC, NBC, or Fox, or anybody, I try to make everything really fun. There's so many people work so hard in life, and they have so many, especially now, this last year. Good Lord, I just try to make everything positive, fun, and upbeat.
Yep.
And if it's delicious, I'm going to report on it.
Yep.
And that was definitely delicious. That's when you were. Are you still selling your hamburger?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well you only sold them on Saturdays or something back when you first started, right?
Well, we only made about a dozen a day.
Yeah.
Now we make about 2 dozen a day.
Okay. So until you sell out, because the one thing about you is, like a lot of barbecue guys, if you're gonna be successful, you can't hold food over. It doesn't work that way. So
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. And these will sell out by lunchtime every day. And everybody wants burgers. I don't want to be in the burger business. Okay.
Yeah, no,
other places have figured that out.
Yeah.
We make them, and they're literally like a 1 pound burger anyway.
Yeah.
And they'll sell out pretty quick. Usually about early afternoon, and then we're done with them.
Yeah, your burger's really, it's brisket, isn't it? Brisket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had it with red onion on there. It's made my burger list 2 years in a row. Yep. So yeah, it's been awesome. What's your favorite thing to cook there? What's your favorite thing to cook at the 407? For you, what's your favorite thing?
For me, let's see here. I don't know. Obviously, you want to say brisket, but you're cooking so much of that. I'll be honest with you. The favorite part of my day is when we have pulled pork.
Oh yeah.
And those pork butts are coming off the pit, and they're over there cooling. And I'll just twist off a big piece. I can stand there at that tub and eat that pork all morning.
I could eat enough to make myself sick.
Yeah,
I love pulled pork.
Just right off there, just twist it off when it's nice and hot.
Do you use this for your pulled pork?
Yes, we sure do.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
This is your Ron. Can I get a shot of that right there? Well, this is your spice. You sell that at the store and online?
We do. We sell it at the store, and then my good friend at Circle Busters, Dan, he's actually doing redistributing for me. So you can actually go to Circle Busters website, and he's actually, because we have the Pendry's does the co-packing,
right?
But he added me to his distribution list, and it's in I mean, I'm nationwide. I've got stuff going over to Australia.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, a little girl hit me up from East Texas here, a couple weeks ago. Found it in some little old mart down there. So
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Doesn't that make you feel good at how far you've come?
Yeah.
And how you built your brand?
it does. I mean, like I said, it's not. I've never been one to really kind of grandstand and hey, look at me type stuff, But I mean, it's kind of humbling. Yeah, it really is.
But you know what? There's old. My dad used to tell me, and Chad Horan told me his fourth magazine, but ABP always be promoting. And then you're always promoting. I mean, you're always on. So you use social media.
We do.
Yeah.
We like it because we're all about dry humor.
Yeah.
And I think ours kind of has a certain appeal to it. You see so much over marketing. I hate to say that, but it's so much saturation, over marketing, that the message gets lost.
Yeah.
And it's just like, please, not again, please.
Yeah.
We throw dry stuff out there, and it's a lot of self-deprecating humor. We make fun of ourselves and everything else.
Well,
we just try to be real.
You're about humor, but you're also about trips to Deliciousville.
Yeah, I mean, and that's true. But we try to keep everything real. Just keep stuff out there. We I don't do the Instagram a whole lot. I mean, I don't really even understand it a lot, but Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, I do it all. Instagram's it's a whole different animal. I mean, I spend 8 hours a day on social media. It's just Instagram's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
So I want to. You brought some some delicious food in here for us to try. So they're going to bring it in a minute. I want you to talk to everybody about it. And you also have these face masks. These are really cool. You've got the 407 face mask, I'm going to hold this one up here. This is really cool. This one is
that's a chicken wearing a hat.
That's a chicken wearing a hat. And you've got chickens and what else?
We have a horse and a pig and a cow.
And a pig and a cow.
Well, I mean, we're all about masks.
Yeah.
At 407.
Yeah, that's right. That's a lie.
We're all about freedom of choice. But if you choose to wear, please advertise for us.
That's right. Well, your exact thought was what mine was. Finally, after I gave in, I said, well, if I got to wear them, and I do. I'm in a lot of restaurants. I have to.
Yeah, you do.
I said, I'm going to make it fun. So I got all these crazy masks, and people always comment on them, But, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it where
have some fun with it. Yeah. Just nothing worse than these stupid little blue masks, and they're falling down. And there's no fun to that.
Yeah, there's not, is there? Thank you, sir. So what's been your most challenging aspect at 407? What have you had to been your oh my Lord?
Trying to keep Steve from leaving. That's been my most challenging aspect.
Trying to keep Steve from leaving. Look at this. Look at this tray right here. You said you brought a lot. My goodness.
Hey man, if you're gonna be at the party, you might as well dance.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what all is this?
Well, we brought a little bit of reflection from our breakfast.
Wow.
Our lunches, obviously the staple. Everybody's going to want to show you their barbecue.
Right.
And some new stuff that we're doing. We try to come up with different sandwiches every now and then.
Right.
We came up with our Jack Ruby, with the pastrami.
Right.
And we've kind of put the pastrami on the shelf till spring, and we'll start making some more.
Right.
This meatloaf right now, we go through so much smoked meatloaf every day. It's incredible.
It is the texture is perfect, the flavor is perfect. It's always served warm and delicious. I mean, it's just a fantastic dish.
Thank you. Yeah, we get a lot of compliments on it. So, about 15, 16 months ago, we thought about a new way of delivering the meatloaf.
Right.
So we put it in casings, in links. We're going to have a meatloaf dog or something like that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't real comfortable with it because a lot of the ingredients that are, in meatloaf with the egg and everything else, I wasn't real comfortable being inside a casing with a temperature zone. And Uncle Sal may come visit you.
Yeah,
so
that's not good.
Yeah, I said, let's don't do that. So we started doing it in the meatballs and making the meatloaf meatballs.
That's what this is?
That's what that is.
So this right here is a meatloaf sandwich?
That's correct. It's a meatloaf. There's three.
It looks like kind of a hoagie.
It's a French roll.
And
instead of our sweet bun, it's a French roll. They're about 3.5 ounce, so you're going to get about 10, 11 ounces of meatloaf.
Wow.
The marinara sauce is made in house. One of our chefs, he's takes the San Marzano tomatoes, cuts them, smokes them on the pit. It's got a nice smoky, rich, flavor to it. And we held off on this sandwich because the only way to present it really is if you want to melt that cheese. Right. Make it look good. It's got to be, it's got to be appealing.
Right.
And it's taken me the entire year last year and the first 6 weeks of this year to get a salamander installed in a restaurant.
Yeah.
I went through 3 contractors last year.
Oh, you're talking about you could get it, but you couldn't get it installed.
They wouldn't. Half of them wouldn't even call me back. They'd work with me for a little bit, then quit calling. And I don't know, why, unless maybe they didn't have any installers during COVID or whatever. And so we sat on this sandwich for over a year, and we finally we just put it on our Facebook page again.
Well, you know, you're right about presentation. No, you hit it nail on the head. If it's not presented right, if it's not good looking, a lot of people's not going to taste right.
Well,
So
and that's just it. I tell my people, I said, everybody that walks in your restaurant has one of these right now.
that's right.
And I said, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look at that tray of food at the counter. And I said, if it looks good, it doesn't matter if it tastes like a dead skunk. If it looks beautiful, by the time they get to the table, they've already eaten it twice and it tastes good.
Yeah.
Then the next thing they're going to do is take a picture and it's going to live out there
Forever.
And if you get one bad tray, you know, you see.
Yeah. People will beat you to death over it.
Oh, and
they'll beat you to death.
We
over
had
it.
a couple back from our early days
Yeah.
before we didn't have hardly any equipment in the trailer.
So what? This is your breakfast?
Okay, so that'll be our breakfast. Now, this is actually in so many barbecue restaurants.
Let me turn this background where you can see it.
Really have
There we
an
go.
opportunity to attract a crowd because if you're working with meats and everything else. Now, one of the biggest audiences you have are people doing keto.
Right.
Especially after the first of the year.
Right.
Everybody's fat,
Yeah.
right? And so the keto diet is so popular. And if you're a barbecue restaurant, you have the ability to just come up with a keto menu. You're
Right.
not doing anything different. You're just repackaging it.
Right.
So that's actually a keto breakfast bowl. And now usually what we'll do on our breakfast bowls, we'll have roasted fried potatoes
Right.
up underneath it on a bed. This one, we fry our own pork rinds. So those are fresh fried pork rinds.
Right.
Then we saute them in a pan with some of our homemade salsa.
Right.
Put it down there, make it on a bed of that, and then we add the the bacon or whatever meat you want.
I featured your keto nachos on Fox.
Yeah,
didn't
okay,
I?
you did. Yeah, the keto nachos. Those are extremely popular.
Yeah.
We have a keto bowl that we make and do that.
This looks absolutely delicious. This is I eat so much food, and I'd gain a lot of weight, and I actually a lot, but I do keto some days a week, and then not. It just it works, especially for my stomach because I eat so much food.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. So this I've got to come try that, or you're gonna have to leave that with me. I'm gonna take them. So and this is some of your sausage.
So that's our hot link, our Texas hot link we make in house.
Well, that looks the color on that is perfect, Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love too. Do you smoke it and put it on the grill too, or is it?
It's smoked actually on racks, so
Okay,
you're
all
getting
right.
that. Yeah, you're getting that.
Okay.
So it's double smoked, and then hat tip to Bill Dumas.
Okay.
He came out. I put on a sausage class for my guys. We were making hot links,
Yeah.
and they were great. But when Bill Dumas came out and put on a class for the guys,
Change.
it went to a different level.
Yeah,
that
that's
guy's got
awesome.
a lot of good smarts.
You remember the old man when I was in high school? The old hot links, they were nasty. You remember those things? The old big
old
fat,
Red Hots. They call them Red Hots.
Red Hots. I don't even know what was in them, but I ate them.
We used to call them the Red Trots, and that's exactly what they were.
The red trots, because that's what you got. The
We
trots.
used to have those at the deer lease, and you would just, you're terrible. You're hugging trees. So
I just got back. I went down to Tulum to do some stuff with Dreams and then my with my wife and Jana and I started eating a bunch of just greens. I had a bunch of salsa down there, and I made a mistake of telling one guy one day he didn't have any hot salsa.
don't ever say that.
Boy, good Lord, man! I just now got over it. It took me almost 2 weeks to get over it. I mean, I could not. I was 10 times down the toilet.
Yeah, don't ever tell them it ain't hot enough.
The problem is I kept eating it.
Yeah.
That was my problem. I couldn't quit eating it.
And then later on, it's eating you.
Yeah. And this is your brisket, obviously.
We got our brisket. Now, that's a
This
house-made tomatillo sauce over there in the
Oh,
corner.
right here, okay.
This is a house-made fire-roasted
Okay. This looks really good.
salsa. Of course, we've got our barbacoa, and we make our little tacos.
Do people realize, because so many restaurants in the past have bought stuff from food service people, purveyors in jars.
I know.
Do people realize how much stuff that you make everything there at your restaurant?
Yeah, we tell them, and they know it. I mean, there's no shame to my game. I have 2 commercial products in my restaurant. I'll tell you right now. I use Ron's potato salad. It's a gourmet. I've used it for 20 years. It's the best potato salad. If I can make it in the volume and the quality that it is,
Tastes like that good,
I do
yeah.
it, and I
Yeah.
can't. So I know my limitation.
Yeah.
Head Country Original. There ain't no shame in that.
Yeah.
That thing's won the American Royal 4 times, poured right out of the bottle as best sauce.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's right down the middle of the road for catering.
Right.
And you don't offend anybody, and that's the thing. Go back to the old competition world. You don't really have to try to win over the judge. You just don't want to offend the judge.
Right.
And that's where you rank up. Same thing with the barbecue sauce. Those are the 2 products that I do not make. Everything else you see is made here.
Yeah. It's awesome. I mean, it's absolutely. These are your tacos, street tacos.
That's our little street taco, the barbacoa.
That looks good.
And then, of course, our little tacos are more like burritos. But
Yeah.
now this is a porco verde. This is migas. even the corn chips we make. But
When did you start selling that? Because I saw you put it on Facebook. When did you start selling that?
that was probably sometime around, I'm going to say around May or June
Okay,
of
yeah,
last year.
6 months.
Yeah, 6,
7
8 months ago.
Yeah, okay, yeah. First time I saw it, I was like, oh, I got to get that. But God, I try to make everybody, you know how it is. But I saw it was delicious. And your ribs, obviously.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you do beef ribs out there at all? During
Saturdays.
Saturdays,
Yeah,
that's
we
what I
do 'em on
thought. Okay.
Saturdays. Sometimes when we get a case in, because we'll usually cook, about 10 racks,
Yeah.
10, 11, and we'll have some extra racks,
Right.
just still in the cryovac. There's a couple of, cryovac. We may end up cooking them for Monday,
Right.
just to, finish out the
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
But usually it's Saturday.
How often do they sell out pretty quick, or is
Yeah,
it something?
no, they'll sell out
well,
really
I just know they're expensive now.
They are expensive.
I mean, there's no way around it. Matter of fact, I had two different people, because I like Terry Black. Terry Black's has them every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Terry Black's out there, especially the one in Deep Ellum. And man, they have them every day. And I mean, it's just so good. But I promote it. I put the videos and promote it,
Sure.
and just like I do your stuff. And I had two different messages. Man, that was so expensive. Why didn't you tell me it's expensive? Look. If I have to tell you a beef rib's expensive, you probably shouldn't be eating it. I'm just saying, I mean,
Yeah.
that's not going to be cheap. No
Well,
matter where you go.
the people that call up, I need a rack of beef ribs.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You obviously don't know what you get.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they want. Yeah, give me a rack. Give me a half rack of beef ribs. I said, do you realize what these are?
Give me a half back.
I said, it's gonna be about 1.5 pounds of meat on one rib. And it's like $20 a pound. They're like, oh my God, no, give me one rib.
Yeah. What would a rack of beef ribs? What would be $250?
No, I mean because they're in 3 bones. We do the 6, 7, and 8 bones. And they're going to be somewhere racks about 4.5 pounds. I think 4.5, maybe some of them are 5 pounds. So $100 for 3 bones.
Yeah.
And we have guys that come in.
Yeah.
And they want all 3 bones. They'll put them on.
It's just got a unique, the beef rib, and everybody smokes them differently, cooks them differently, but that beef rib, because it's on that rib like that, and it's bigger, it's just got a different flavor profile.
It does.
It's just succocult and meaty.
And rich.
And
It's like eating a quarter Bluebell.
Dude,
it's rich.
It is, but you know what? It's kind of like how you cut and they serve the bone marrow. Mm-hmm. It's pretty close. It's pretty close to that. Not quite that rich, but it's pretty close.
I can't eat a whole beef rib.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a little bit rich for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're good.
Well, I'm a pig. I'll eat it.
I love them. Though.
I'm not ashamed to tell everybody. Okay, so I want to go over these sauces one more time. Mm-hmm. So this sauce right here.
That's a tomatilla.
God, that smells good. That's a tomatilla.
That's a fire roast.
That's a fire roast. I knew what that was.
This is a classic salsa.
Okay, that's classic salsa. Now, I love this salsa right here. It's the fire roast. For some reason, fire roast salsa just tastes so fresh to me. Mm-hmm. The fire, a little bit of the char,
char,
yeah,
those peppers,
man.
And does Robert gets in there, and I mean he roasts those things up. They're not good till they're black,
Yeah.
And once he gets them,
they're absolutely delicious.
So we're actually thinking about jarring some up. It would be just on a shelf at the restaurant. Yeah. We're not going to be in the sauce business, but we have a lot of people asking. We sell it by the cup. But it's not going to be as fresh as if you put it in a little jar.
Right.
So, we'll probably end up jarring some up.
Well, now, if you jar your own salsa, you're not going to put preservatives and stuff in it because it's fresh, right?
That's correct.
So how long will it last? Well,
it'll be just as long as you're going to get it from a regular fresh salsa anywhere else.
Yeah.
We checked with the state. They said, nope, you don't need the preservatives. If it's a handover transaction, you're a food manufacturer. It's made fresh here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the shelf life on tomatoes, but I mean, you get a jar of paste. I've got a jar of paste in my refrigerator. Been there a year.
Yeah.
And I'll still eat it.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just like you. Yeah. Like Jan will go, hey, we hadn't eaten that in a week. I said, no, you leave it right there. I'll eat that. I'll eat that in a month. I'll eat that.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love cheese. I have all kinds of cheeses, right? But my dad used to bring cheese back from Italy all the time. When he had all the restaurant stuff, he'd bring cheese back all the time. And it would get sit in the fridge, but it would get moldy. And Dad would say, don't just shave the mold off. It's still going to be good. Yeah. And I'll tell Jen, she's like, I'm not eating that. I said, just shave the mold off. It'll be fine. It adds flavor.
That's all you do, man.
Yeah. Kind of like penicillin if you want to eat it anyway.
Yeah, take a little off the top.
That's right. So out of all this right here, Brian, what is your favorite?
As far as the favorite I have for breakfast, it was the porco verde. But honestly, since the keto bowl, and I can make that instead of doing in the marinara with the pork rinds, we can do it with the tomatilla, so it's kind of the same, and put a little bit of that on there. That's just a really, and it's not like the pork rinds turn into mush.
Right. No, they don't.
But they really pull in that classic salsa flavor.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly good.
Yeah, they're
breakfast
porous.
bowl.
They're very porous. They soak it up, but they don't. They have to sit there a while. But just doing that way, they don't get mushy. Yeah.
I like of course the brisket and ribs.
Right.
But barbacoa. I'm a barbacoa freak.
Yeah.
I probably eat more than I sell. They're like, we just did 20 pounds of barbacoa. Where is it?
Brian's back in the closet.
Between twisting off the pork butts or eating the barbacoa,
But it's hard not pork for some reason. The presentation on a pork butt and the way it looks when you on any camera or any phone or just in person, when you twist it and pull it off. The way the meat splits, the way the smoke comes up, the aromas. It's just hard not to eat it.
I know it. It is.
It's just crazy. So I call this Barkalicious.
Barkalicious is right.
My big thing is bark. I think bark adds such a flavor to the brisket. Some people don't like it, but to me, I think it's what the flavor is. And I guess the hot links, and then it's just all just looks so good. Oh, I didn't see when you talk about these.
Yeah.
These are chorizo. These are all breakfast.
Breakfast tacos.
Breakfast tacos.
Yeah.
You got a chorizo, you got a bacon, you got a chopped brisket. Now I can eat all three of those.
And we make our own chorizo.
I wouldn't think you'd buy chorizo. You don't buy anything. Now I would dip these into this beautiful looking sauce.
That's exactly what I do.
Yes, delicious. So what's the spiciest sauce you have?
The spiciest is actually, heat level is probably going to be on that one.
This one.
Yeah.
I guess you can't make a super hot sauce because everybody can't eat it anyway.
And that's just it.
Yeah.
You try to stay as much in the middle of the road as you can, because some people, they may like it, but it's too hot. You get stuff like the green chili, mac and cheese.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But then I think about my audience.
Yeah.
How many kids are going to be eating it now? All of a
They ain't
sudden,
gonna do it.
they don't do it.
Or somebody comes in and gets real hot and just really makes them mad, and they just it's just not because the average person. That's why when people buy anything, it says from anybody, it says hot or it says mild, or the hot is really not that hot, and the mild, it's just it can't be because the average person can't do it. They have the trots. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, the red trots. Red trots. So anybody that's is kind of on a level like this, and you give them some of the fire roast, that's going to be kind of warm to them.
Yeah.
The tomatillo would be hot to them.
So what do you think, in your opinion, and I ask every barbecue guy this, what do you think, in your opinion, has been the biggest change in the last 10 years in barbecue? What has been the biggest change and why it's so successful? Social media? Is it?
I think it's social media. You have an advent of, guys like Trey Chapman or other food critics out there, doing a lot of presentation and media about it, around it.
Yeah. It's become fascinating to people, hasn't it?
It has, and you start doing the, barbecue, tours and crawls and all that kind of stuff on it. But some of the, stuff now, and it's one thing that, I don't know, when you started calling it a year or so ago, you started calling it craft barbecue. And I'm like, what is this craft barbecue? What do you it's just barbecue. Then I got to looking at it.
2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago. But I got to look at it. I said, well, I guess I understand kind of where you're coming from. It's not like we're doing anything different with the barbecue. But if you look at some of the stuff that's on the menu that barbecue joints haven't historically had.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I love pulled pork and brisket.
No, this is a craft.
Right.
This is a craft, Brian. That's why I call it. And you know what's funny? I may have started about 3 years ago, but what's funny is that when I started doing that, we were watching it, and then all of a sudden I saw other magazines. They started doing it. And then before you knew it, after about a year, it was craft. Everybody's calling it craft barbecue.
I call it an art.
Yeah, which is also it's about the same thing.
But you look at some in the last few years. Like I said, how a lot of them are adapting. Yeah. Especially now, with the family, we have so much, family environment out there. We're not just a road stop.
No. Your destination. Where you're all your destination.
And there's only so many, there's only so many times a week you can eat brisket or pulled pork.
Yeah.
So that's why we have a large menu. We have, we've come up with different sandwiches. We come up with different breakfast items. Something that's different. That way you're not just in there, give me another pulled pork sandwich, please. It's a different variety because you've got kids that like, certain taste.
Right.
We've got, keto menus, and everything else. And it's just looking at your menu, figuring out a way to repurpose and repackage something to appeal to somebody.
And you know what's funny is that you do a masterful job at that. A lot of barbecue guys, and you and I both know this. They sell brisket, they sell beef ribs, they sell chicken or something and they're good at it, and they don't. You continually change, you reinvent yourself. You rotate the menu out. You do new things like this. I mean, and the breakfast. I just thought the breakfast where you were would be a fantastic idea.
Yeah,
and being in the restaurant all my life. Oh my God, he's going to hit the nail on the head out there.
Well, we got a business, not a hobby. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, at the end of the day, you gotta decide. You got a business or a hobby.
Yeah.
And ours is going to be a bit. I got 31 employees. It
Yeah.
says ain't no hobby.
That's a business.
That's a business. And I told them all, like I said, we talked earlier. When all this stuff went to lockdown last year. And we just, we have breakfast. I mean, I've got so much, Latin flavor around my kitchen in the mornings.
Yeah.
We have some great, stuff up there. But we thought about selling it. We just need a little bit of kicking the shorts,
Well, you
to
got
get
it.
across that line.
You know what? Let's talk about that a minute.
Okay.
All the restaurants that are down during COVID, all this when even though you were shut down a few times and did this and had all the problems, you're up a massive amount of money. You're up what'd you say, 30%?
Yeah, I don't like to talk about it too much.
I know, but that's okay. I mean,
We went up 33% last year.
because you service you gave the community, you helped the community out a lot.
Right.
You help police officers. What's that on your wall in there? Don't you have a?
Yeah, so we needed some soundproofing anyway, in there because of the acoustics.
Yeah.
So, I didn't want to put some kind of, checker pattern or whatever. We thought we'd just make a big old blue line flag. So we made the whole wall.
Yeah, all police officers. But
Yeah.
you support all that stuff. By the way, open that cookie jar up. I give everybody socks. I got you a pair of socks because I think you're kind of racy.
No.
I give all my people, everybody comes in socks. I got you a pair of socks to wear. Thought you might want some socks with flames on them.
I love it.
You always running around like a chicken with your head
Oh,
cut
you're
off
not
every time.
kidding. Yeah, I put these to good use.
Brian, say if everybody wants, what's your social media? It's all just 407, correct?
Yeah, 407 BBQ.
And you sell hats, you sell everything out there, face mask, your spices, everything.
Yeah, we have hats, we have T-shirts, mask, rub.
Do they have to get? Can they go to your website? Or you have to come in and buy that stuff.
This one you buy it, or you can go, like I said, if you want to get the rub online, you can go through Socal Busters.
Yeah.
You can go to Ace Hardwares, they'll have them.
You know what's great about that for you is you don't have to package that stuff
And
up
that's
and
just
mail
it.
it. Man, that's a fantastic. Give a little bit out to let it go. I
Yeah.
mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's called smart.
And all I do is, basically I get a discount because I have to buy my own rub back through them. And we buy it 1,000 pounds, we buy 350 pounds at a time, and we just get a discount. Whatever we sell as far as the rub,
Yeah.
market, they just discount it when we get this.
My granddad and my dad both. My granddad said it first. He said, hire the best people to do the job and let them do the job.
Turn them loose.
Turn them loose and leave them alone.
Well, and that was kind of a lesson that I learned from, same way from AT&T.
Yeah.
Hire your people, keep the good ones, pay them well.
Yeah.
There you go.
Leave them alone.
Happy people make happy food.
I'm
That's
telling
all there
you,
is to it.
Kind of like happy life, happy wife.
Then
happy wife, happy life.
In a lot of areas I'm overstaffed, but the thing about it is, like I told them, I said, this is not going to be a sweat lodge.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be here to have fun.
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody's got their role to play. Even the early morning trim guys, they have their role to play back there right now. We just got to where we've got so much volume that we do now that we're getting a little close with raw product shaking hands with cooked product. So that's why we're fixing to increase that area. We're
That's
going to have
awesome.
a separate pet room altogether.
Brian, I appreciate you coming in. I want to say one other thing before we get to closing here. You're right about the environment because there's so many restaurants, so many jobs available now to people that want to work. If you don't have an environment that's fun and outgoing and positive, people aren't going to stay around. I mean, it's not like days old where you can throw stuff at people and scream at them. They're going to stay there because they have to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not what happens anymore.
Yeah, no, it's you got to treat them right and make sure they're happy. You know? And we've got a lot of professional people that have come in and they've been chefs other places, but they want to learn barbecue.
Yeah.
I said, well, there's a good trade out here. Here's a little NDA you're going to sign. And,
I'm glad you do that. Then that's good.
Absolutely. And anything we develop in house, these two menus right over here. I'll tell my guys, these guys, they come up with something, we'll roll it out for a while. If it sticks against the wall and people like it, then I'll pay you for it. Okay, it's intellectual property that you've developed while you're here. I'm gonna keep it, but you're gonna get paid for it because that's what you've done. You've created that, so it's an incentive, to come up with something, a different idea.
That's awesome. Well, guys, so go to if you want to find out Brian's stuff, go to 407 Barbecue. He's on. You put most of your big stuff on. I know you do Instagram, but you put most of your big stuff on Facebook, right?
It's easier.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Well, plus,
Just
no,
do Facebook.
plus you can do a lot more on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's my major platform. I mean, I reach 1 million people a week now, and it's because of I can detail information. It's just a great platform.
Sure.
Do a whole lot more. I mean, And then we do it all, but you're on Instagram too, but you're also on Twitter.
Yeah, we do Twitter.
So yeah, y'all hook him up. Hook up 407 Barbecue. Go to his website. But most of all, if you haven't been to this place, go visit him. I tell everybody it's just like North Fort Worth. He says Argyle, but to me it's North Fort Worth, especially with that new thing. I get on that thing. I'm the express. Oh man, quick! I can run 85, 90 miles an hour, and just boom, I'm there.
I'm in downtown Fort Worth in 18 minutes.
Oh man, just bam! That's nothing. It doesn't take me longer than that to brush my teeth.
Take me longer than to find my teeth.
Can't eat a beef rib in that amount of time.
Exactly.
Well, and you're going to start music out there?
Yeah, we're going to start music. So like I said, once we get the build out, we've got the paperwork done for a beer and wine license. I'm on the fence. Okay, it may be more hassle than what it's worth. Yeah, I'll never sell liquor. I don't want to be a bar. I worked in a bar.
Put it in cans and you'll be okay. That way you just throw the cans out there.
Exactly. So we're thinking about doing that. But I was worried about getting music out there now. I've got a lot of people that want to come out and play. Yeah. But my parking lot's full, and if I have them out there playing, it's a trade-off. You know what I mean? I need them. I need to be able to have seating outside so people can enjoy the music without just having people rush in and rush out and everything else. Friday and Saturdays we're packed anyway.
Well, we'll look forward to that. So check us out, Trey'sChowdown.com on all social media platforms. Go to our website. That's www.Trey'sChowdown.com. Look for our new show starting next month, Trey's Chowdown Live Worldwide. We're going to be talking with chefs from all over the world. See y'all next week, same time, same delicious food channel. Brian, thanks for coming in, buddy.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.